Hi Aquarius, this is Michael with the general reading for April 2019. This reading is intended for Aquarius Sun, Moon, Venus, and Rising. This is also for Aquarius crosswatchers as well, so if you're checking in on someone, hello, welcome. I am just going to do a little bit of housekeeping before we actually begin the read. I just wanted to thank you all for the amazing support that you have been offering and coming forward with. It's so amazing to watch this channel grow so quickly. I've already had lots of requests for private readings, which you can book down below with the link, or send an email. I did actually get a couple of emails from people that actually went to my spam folder, and I know that that happened to some of you guys as well. I sent some emails and some people were saying, sorry I'm late, this ended up in my spam. So if you didn't hear back from me but you were interested in a personal reading, there is a good chance that it's just in your spam folder, so be sure to check there. I did get to everyone that reached out to me. I did also post this month's astrological forecast as a blog post on my website. That link is also in the description box as well. You may view that just to kind of have a better idea of what's coming and when. It's just a helpful little resource to have. Let me see. I'm also... I'm feeling for you guys, there's definitely a sense of new beginnings. I was cutting the deck and feeling your energy, and I did get the Fool. So it seems like some of you are taking a leap of faith, or are about to take a leap of faith for the beginning of April. There could also potentially be an Aries that you're involved with as well. This is kind of an Aries card to me. So it seems like you're coming into spring with a very adventurous or bold, daring, or even foolish approach, but it feels good. It feels pretty strong, actually. I like it. This Aries season was also kicked off by a full moon in Libra, and there will be a second full moon in Libra on April 19th as well. So there's actually a lot of emphasis on relationships this Aries season, which is a little unusual, but a lot of the way that we show up in relationships, the ways that we compromise in our relationships, or the way that we even bulldoze other people or our partners, it's going to really be coming to the forefront of everyone's mind for this season. So that's just something to keep an eye out for. It's definitely a good time to heal dysfunctional patterns, to heal unresolved wounds. I also know there is a lot of retrograde planets that are happening towards the end of April, which is going to really cause a lot of inward move, a lot of focus is going to be required. I feel like with this Fool, it's going to have to be reined in a little bit by the end of April. There is going to be a need to be thinking more long term. There's going to be a lot of reflecting on losses and gains and the way that you achieve status in the world, because we have Pluto and Saturn going retrograde in Capricorn, and we have Jupiter going retrograde in Sagittarius. So instead of this happy-go-lucky, I'm just going to go for it attitude, there is more of a sense of, with Jupiter being retrograde in Sag, what am I doing long term? How is this actually going to look? How am I actually going to be able to do this? Where is all of this leading me? It kind of bigger picture questions. And that's going to be the next few months, really, but it's going to kick off towards the end of April. I actually think Jupiter is more, I want to say April 11th. Again, that is in the blog post down below if you're interested in that. I am also very grateful that Mercury retrograde is in the post-shadow phase now. It's actually not been too bad for me, but it's definitely slowed me down quite a bit. I've had a few videos that just didn't go through. They just got deleted. I recorded the whole thing and it didn't save. And I think with this particular Mercury retrograde, there was a lot of spiritual and emotional insights that were being had, a lot of subconscious realizations, or a lot of working in the subconscious that might have become realized to the conscious mind. I actually think it's going to be right when Mercury finishes its shadow phase. It's going to be on the 7th when it conjuncts Neptune one last time. So I think there is going to be perhaps one last series of downloads. I actually feel like it's more going to be a series of, or it's going to be more installing those downloads. There's going to be sudden manifestations in our life that happened that day. I think things that are in our subconscious are going to become really clear. Whatever was brewing over this Mercury retrograde, it seems like it's going to be coming to the forefront in a very big way. So just be aware of that. I'm actually pretty excited for that myself. I think it's going to be nice to see the ways that we've healed the mind, the way we've healed our shadow. And it's a nice way to kind of enter spring, to have these new beginnings. It's good to heal first, to have that healing period, to have that slow start. So that's kind of, I think that's actually not such a bad thing. Mercury retrograde definitely gets a bad rap for sure. But I am also, what else was it? There was one more thing. And I don't remember it, so it's probably not important, right? If I remember, I'll definitely bring it up later in the reading. I am just curious to see what cards come up for you. I'm really curious to see what this Fool is all about. April Fools is coming up after all, so maybe there's some trickery coming your way. Let's see. What is the past energy for Aquarius coming into April 2019? And one more. Okay. Interesting. So we have this Knight of Swords in reverse in kind of the physical or daily aspect of the past energy. So this tells me there might have been a real lack of planning, kind of just rushing in towards something and potentially hurting some people inadvertently along the way, or maybe even intentionally. There could have been some confrontation with this card as well, some cutting words that were exchanged, especially if this was with another air sign, so a Libra, Gemini, or Aquarius, or I mean another Aquarius. So that's interesting. You might have had to cut out an air sign as well, especially if this is someone you lived with or worked with, or you might have just had some sort of conflict with them, some sort of wall. And we have this Two of Swords in the emotional position for the past. So you were feeling guarded off to something. You were delaying something, potentially. You might have been deceiving yourself or trying to get a different perspective, but you already knew the answer is what's coming through for you guys. You were kind of trying to delay a realization. And this is all feeling very Mercury. You had the Magician in reverse. This is like Mercury retrograde as a card, because the Magician represents Mercury. And, you know, with this Two of Swords, there's blocked communication or blocked vulnerability or blocked realization. And again, with this Knight of Swords, there's this miscommunications or conflict or argument. It actually seems like this Mercury retrograde really did have quite an impact on you, and it may still be unfolding as you're coming into April as well. I do see with this Magician in reverse, you could have also been communicating with a Gemini or Virgo, or been trying to, but it didn't go through. There was just some sort of blockage with communication. Things weren't being heard, or things weren't being said. Someone might have even been a bit deceptive. It might feel like there was also you might have felt blocked from the things you actually wanted to do, the things you were actually trying to manifest. It might seem like there's some sort of blockage coming in, and I kind of get that with the Two of Swords as well. Something is being blocked off to you, especially if it involves another air sign. Gemini is actually coming in pretty strongly with these Two Swords and the Knight of Swords and the Magician. Those are all Gemini cards. Sorry, we are still in post-shadow for Mercury retrograde, so my words are still slowly returning to me. I'm a bit on dial-up, is what I'm telling people. Let's see. I'm curious to see what the animals have to say about this past energy. Interesting. We do have the Lion card. This could also be an individual that a Leo individual that you are dealing with. I'm getting more the sense, however, that this is a need to balance socialization and alone time. Whenever I think of the lion, I think of the ruler of the pride, but I also think of a very meditative person, almost a leader type personality. And it's very important for them to bask in the sun, get the energy they need. There is, I almost get the sense that you might have been coming off so strongly that you actually were cutting people out, or people, you weren't being vulnerable with people with this Knight of Swords in reverse. You might have actually been a bit cold. And the thing with the lion is that the lion, you weren't actually cold. It's not that you're actually a cold person. I mean, Aquarius does have that reputation, but it's not that you don't have feelings. It's just you're very reserved with who you give access to. You know, who gets access to that part of you. And that almost gives you this air of being better or superior to some people, especially insecure people. They're looking at you like this lion. And it makes it puts a lot of pressure on you, actually. That's not always a great thing. It's almost like everyone's coming to you and turning to you, but you don't have anyone to turn to yourself. So it's important for you to find people that you can confide in, find people that you can talk to. And I think, again, meditation is really, really key to this card as well. This card talks a lot about meditation. I always think of the lion on his rock. We do also have the back card at the bottom of the deck. I just noticed this, which does tell me there might have been an ending, or there might be something that is ending. This is also, on the positive, this is indicating that a new dawn is coming. So if you've been in this dark period for a while, there is a new beginning that is happening. Again, this card actually, to bring this into balance, it does say in the book to watch a sunrise. I actually find this card really interesting. I meditate during Brahma Muhurta, which is an hour and 48 minutes before the sunrise. And whenever this card comes up for me, that's telling me that I need to wake up before sunrise and meditate. That's something I really need to do. And I try to do that every day. I'm not perfect. I do sleep in some days, and I'm just like, I don't want to do it today, especially if I didn't sleep well the night before. But it really does help. That actually is a really powerful time to meditate or do yoga or any spiritual practice. So maybe you need to meditate. I think on average it's about 4 a.m., so it's very early. You are able to go back to bed after, so don't feel like you have to stay up once you get up. But really meditate for a while, even an hour. That's what I do. And I think it would actually really serve you. Perhaps you were doing a lot of meditating last month as well, and really, I hope you were utilizing that Mercury retrograde energy to the fullest. Although I get the I get the impression you were really trying to push forward something, and it might have just not been coming through, no matter how hard you were fighting for it. And maybe that was someone trying to push you, and you just weren't budging with this Two of Swords. So maybe you weren't budging, and you were kind of acting like this lion to be closed off to other people. Interesting. I am curious to see what the beginning of April holds for you. Let's see. 4 times. Okay. I've been told to shuffle 4 times. One more. Very interesting. You have the Death card, followed up with the Ace of Cups, and the Page of Pentacles in reverse. I have to just say, it almost feels like there might be a Scorpio that's making a love offer to you with these two cards together. That is a possibility for some of you, or some offer for intimacy or emotional connection. I think for the general collective, however, there is a really big change that is going to be occurring at the start of April, or a big ending, a lot of transformation, a lot of powerful transition. And we do have Pluto going retrograde later in the month as well. There might be some sort of setting of the stage for whatever that retrograde is going to be about for you. I do see some of you might actually even be attending a funeral, is something that is coming as an image in my mind's eye. But I just feel like this is more a resetting, a clearing of things. And there is a new beginning that is attached to this for sure. And that was kind of coming up with the Fool energy as well. This could be as soon as April 1st. It's, you know, April Fools. I have this offering for intimacy, this new beginning, or perhaps you are offering yourself to someone, perhaps you are offering yourself to this Scorpio, or potentially an earth sign with the Page of Pentacles in reverse. But I feel like this is you, an emotional beginning, an emotional reset, healing is going to be happening here. This is a very positive thing. Whatever this change is, it's very positive. You might be leaving a relationship that isn't serving you anymore, is something that's coming up for a few of you. I also get the sense that you're going to be moving on from a stage that wasn't helpful or wasn't beneficial anymore. If you were in a relationship and it wasn't really going anywhere, I actually see that that might be ending and it might start going somewhere, is kind of a weird energy I'm getting from that. Or if you've been involved with someone and you were afraid it wasn't really going to work out, it seems like however that's been manifesting in the physical day-to-day life, it's actually going to be changing. And there is going to be a new beginning or a reset. Someone might also be coming back from the past to try and make amends or try to reconcile with you. However, with this Page of Pentacles in the mental position or in the communication position, it seems like someone hasn't totally learned their lesson yet. Someone might have made an offer, or they might be making promises they can't actually keep. And it's not even necessarily that they're lying to you. I don't get the sense of deception here. It just seems like there's some naivete, so to speak. Someone who is getting a bit ahead of themselves. Again, that's kind of the Fool energy as well. And, you know, it could be kind of warning that this very emotional, beautiful offering might not actually have a lot of stability behind it. Especially with this Death card, there might be, it's almost like this is being offered to you amidst a period of great change or of great turmoil, potentially. That's very, very interesting. I might have to clarify these cards. It's almost seeming like multiple messages are coming up for this group. It doesn't seem like there's a single general narrative. It feels very separate. Let me see. What is the animal wisdom? For the start of April. This flew right out. We have the bear. So this is new beginnings. This is spiritual awakenings. This could also indicate spiritual awakening. And I am also thinking of, as I mentioned earlier, April 7th, when Mercury and Neptune are conjunct in Pisces. There might actually be a spiritual breakthrough for some of you. It's coming out of a hibernation, so to speak. It does seem like things were pretty blocked off in the past and things are finally shifting. It almost feels like falling off or falling away very suddenly. I get the image of like a glacier just sliding off, or like a part of a glacier sliding off into the ocean. There's just all of a sudden this big movement that happens out of nowhere and you're kind of groggy. Your energy isn't fully back yet. And it's just like, what? Like, you don't even know how to handle this change, how to handle this transition or awakening. I love this card, especially this time of year. It's been coming up a lot. It doesn't surprise me because it's very much about the spring. It seems like there is a lot. You're definitely feeling this airy season. It's definitely stirring you awake. and that's beautiful. It's pulling you out of that Pisces dream time. It may still be a bit groggy, but it's important for you to move. It's important for you to exercise, actually, with this card. To really move your body is actually something that's coming across as very important as well. Interesting. I am going to look at the second half of April to just see how this month is going to close out for you, or what's going to still be lingering perhaps out into May. What is the future energy for Aquarius? Interesting. These three cards actually came out together, so I'm going to take them. Remember how I said someone might be coming back from the past to reconcile? We do have this Judgment card, which is also, it could be an indication of that. However, for most of you, this feels like there is a big move and it's very final. Whatever this Death card is, whatever this change is, it's very final. And it might feel very sudden. It might feel very shocking, but it's meant to... This is Judgment Day. It's very clear. It's going to be very clear by the end of the month. Wow. Sorry, I'm going to look at the other cards. We have the Six of Wands in reverse, and we do have the Knight of Pentacles as well. Wow. I almost feel like there might be some of you moving away from home, or leaving your home, or potentially leaving a job or losing a job, I hate to say. Perhaps that's what this Page of Pentacles is about as well. I do see this. There's just, it feels so sudden. Like, it feels like there's going to be some sudden changes. And it does feel like it's actually pretty good. With this Ace of Cups is at the heart of your reading. This was actually the same card that was at the heart of the reading for Capricorn as well. So if you have any Capricorn placements, definitely check out that video as well, because there is some new beginnings here, for sure. And the Fool even came up for you. There is definitely a leap of faith that is going to have to be taken here, and it might be the result of some big change that is happening to you, or that you're initiating. With the Six of Wands in reverse, it may feel like a loss. It may feel like whatever it was that you were celebrating suddenly just came to an end. I more get the sense that it's almost like someone went out to battle and didn't come back from battle, is the sense I also get for this card, for this specific read. I'm not sure why. It's like whatever it was that you were working on, you didn't really see the results that you were hoping or expecting. But it actually seems like you're still moving forward pretty solidly. You do have the Knight of Pentacles. I think whatever this was, it's a big delay. Something might be starting all over again, too, is something that comes to mind. And you're just working very steadily, very calmly towards it. You're taking your time. You're making sure everything is done right this time. I think whatever it was that happened at the start of April, it seems like towards the end of April, you're going to have a much more realistic view of things, or a much more practicable or pragmatic approach. You're really going to make sure you do things right this time. Perhaps this is you. You know, all of this could also just be you deciding to scrap whatever it was you were working on, whatever relationship you were in, whatever, any situation, any circumstance. This could just be you scraping that away, starting over, and going forward, and making sure that you're going forward in the right direction, because something wasn't serving you, something wasn't in your best interest before. Because despite death, despite judgment, I'm not getting, like, heavy. I mean, you're definitely tired. I feel like you might be a bit exhausted, but your mind feels good. You feel like you're in a pretty good place by the end of the month. And again, this also reminds me of the outer planets that are going retrograde, this Knight of Pentacles. You know, especially with Saturn and Jupiter. it almost feels like this is very karmic. There's a lot of karma. That's what this is. There is a lot of karma that is going to be reset, that's going to be dealt out. This is going to come in the form of blessings and boons and endings and beginnings, and it seems like it's all kind of happening to you at once. Wow, this is very, very interesting. There's a lot of interesting energy that's coming forward here. I'm very curious to see what the final animal card is for you. What is the last bit of animal wisdom for Aquarius? So a lot of cards fell out, but this one fell by itself, and it's Scorpion. This is also a Scorpio card. There may be some sort of involvement with the Scorpio. There may be potentially a new beginning or ending with a Scorpio. I'm actually getting the sense that something has been not addressed. Something's not been addressed directly. Something might be kind of, somebody or something might be sneaking around, and it might sting you. It might hurt a little bit. I don't get the sense this is too dangerous. I feel like it's just important for you to be aware that you just need to be honest and direct. And if you even get the slightest hint of tension or agitation with someone, it's very important that you address it before they try and sting you, especially if you are dealing with a Scorpio or potentially another an earth sign as well with this Knight of Pentacles, especially a Virgo. It could also be a Capricorn or Taurus. I think it's just very important for you to be very open and honest with communication, even if it's hard, even if it feels mean at the time. It's actually probably going to be better because it seems like someone is going to be lashing out. There's going to be this building up of tension, this increase of the heat until someone finally snaps. So before that happens, I think it's just very important to deal with things. Or if there's romantic feelings or even positive feelings that are coming up, it's really important to express those as well. I am getting that for some of you with this Ace of Cups. It's kind of a mixed bag, I gotta say. I just want to pull... I actually do want to see... Your card is at the bottom of the deck here, the Star card I just saw. Okay. I think I'm getting all of this. Whatever is happening for April, and this might sound really weird because there is a lot of loss, there is a lot of transformation that is occurring. This is all part of a wish you have made, something you have manifested. Whatever this magician was in the past, whatever it felt like you were trying to manifest that didn't come forward, I actually do feel like it is coming forward. It's just, there are things that need to be cleared out. There are still things, it wasn't the right time. And it might not even happen in April, but it seems like you're on the trajectory for this wish to come true. It seems like there is some dream that is going to be realized with this card. And this is your card as well. This is telling me that this is a month to really focus on yourself, to focus on the things that make you happy and the people who make you happy, and to really go forward with that. I do see that there's a need to meditate, a need to kind of ease yourself back into, to ease yourself into whatever situation you are coming into next, but just trust that it's all going into a good place. This is a really good card, and you know, perhaps things are actually just going to turn around and go really great for you, but it seems like whatever is happening for the Aquarius collective, it's all meant to get you to this star, to realize this dream. And it may happen for some of you sooner, or there may be some more shedding that needs to happen, but for the other group of you, but it seems like it seems really good. I'm curious. Yeah, we have this King of Wands too. Again, this is kind of a Leo energy coming up. It could also be another fire sign, Aries or Sagittarius. This is someone who is very passionate about what they do, and it's almost telling me that you need to follow your dreams. That's what's really happening here. Whatever is being switched up in your life, it's trying to push you into following your dreams and to make you do the things that you love. It almost feels like the clearing that's happening is really a blessing in disguise. Or maybe you see it as a blessing. I feel like it's going to vary for the individual or whoever is watching this, but wow, this is powerful. You're really coming into a lot of power. You're coming into a really strong time, Aquarius. I do hope that this message was helpful. Definitely let me know what is going on in the comments down below. I'm very curious to see what all of this is about. If you'd like to book a personal reading, you can do so on my website or send me an email. All of that information is down below as well. Also, feel free to check out your other placements, your other signs, your sun, moon, rising, and Venus, to get further further clarification on whatever this reading was. It did seem a bit vague, to be honest, and I think it was kind of meant to be with the star card, but you are going in the right direction. Things are going positively. I promise. And that's all the messages I'm getting for you guys. I do hope that this was helpful. I will see you next time. Bye, Aquarius.